right, Zach, entertain the people while I look up this book name.
Alright, so last time I may have mentioned something about Mercy Kill being about how the equivalent of Stella got her groove
Got
back.
a group back, yeah.
I won't spoil anything major because Sam hasn't read it and I know he wants to. But I will just say the premise of the book is basically a former member of Wraith Squadron is basically after having retired to civilian life for the events of having missed many important things in the series, is called back into action for another mission, and him kind of dealing with that and his mixed feelings about it, and kind of like learning to enjoy the wonderful chaos that was being part of this ridiculous crack team of rebellion and then Republic personnel. It's pretty great.
So the book that I was thinking of is book 9,
Okay.
and it's Starfighters of Adumar is the book.
Is the book I remember the least.
Yeah, so I love this one because it's like the least, like, I don't know. It's like it's such a departure from all the rest of them because it takes place after they've like killed Izzard.
Yeah.
And so in the end of the series, like they drive Yzain Izzard off of Thyfera, and then she goes into hiding. Well, no, they think she's dead. That's right. They think they killed her, but she escapes because she's Trixie. And after the events of Wraith Squadron, she turns back up again, and so Rogue Squadron goes after her and brings her down for real. So Starfighters of Adumar is like a weird Gaiden that kind of wraps up the story of some of the individual characters, because instead of focusing on the entire squadron, it focuses on Wedge, Wes Jansen, Hobby, and
Also, can I interrupt you there to just show? Point out that civilian just tanked a fucking thermal detonator.
Nice.
He's taking one for Kyle Katarn.
I love Tycho.
So basically it's the original 4 that still survive. Like, Wes Jansen is the gunner in the Snowspeeder in the second movie that first fires a tow cable at the first AT.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Hobby is the guy
that's Luke's co-pilot in the thing, right?
No.
Luke's is Dak, and he dies.
Dak dies
because Dak gets
but
his
Wedge
gunner
Wes
gets shot out.
Yeah, but Wedge and Wes are in a different ship, and they both live. Hobby gets a brief screen time in part 2. In the second movie, when he's the like one guy that that has a line about something about flying out with the transports. I don't remember what exactly he says, but he's like the only person that actually has a line there. Tycho Selchu, Selchu.
I think it's Selchu, but I'm not.
Selchu.
You guys were saying Selchu last time.
Yeah, Selchu. He is the A-wing pilot, Green 5, I want to say. During Return of the Jedi, who flies into the Death Star with Wedge
that was
and
actually
Lando.
See, I forgot that was him because I know his backstory as of when he's introduced in the books is that he's basically been like a captive so long everybody thinks he got turned.
Right, exactly. But no, that's him, and he becomes captive in the comic books, and that's why it's that weird like shift.
Oh, okay. So that's why that's treated as a super big deal.
Exactly.
In the books.
And then Wedge Antilles is the guy. He's the X-wing fighter pilot that isn't Luke that survives the first Death Star.
Right.
He's the one that pulls up out of the trench and gets away. He's also the X-Wing pilot that flies with Lando into the second Death Star and is credited with being the one to blow it up.
Yep.
So he's the only X-Wing pilot to survive 2 Death Stars.
I believe, doesn't he, like, I think they make a joke in Rogue Squadron because it becomes the thing that they paint their kills on their X-Wings, and Wedge's is distinct in that he has a fucking Death Star.
He has half a Death Star and a Death Star. Painted on his fucking X-Wing. Which is the best thing ever.
What's
happening?
That, like, he hates it, like, he doesn't want it to be there, but the mechanics keep painting it on. Because, hey, he got those kills. But yeah, so anyway, so they kill Izzard, and then in Starfighters of Adumar, they get sent to They get sent to be ambassadors to this, like, weird backwoods, like, colony planet that wants to join the New Republic, but they have, like, this weird, like, samurai-esque military culture that demands that all their politicians and leaders be military. So they request specifically fighter pilots.
Can I just pause a sec to say, Matt, way to shoot that girl and rob her blind, and then break through her wall and rob even her secret stash.
Kyle Katarn is a hero.
He's a hero. Also, I don't know why I'm using a gun. I have a super shield.
Yeah, you have a lightsaber. Like, what are you doing?
Well, no, I also have the super shield, which makes all blaster fire bounce off of me for as long as it's active.
Oh well.
Yeah, I just forgot I had it. Otherwise, I would have been fucking force speed running through this fucking place. Oh yeah, force speed running is crazy fast now because I maxed it out.
Maxed it out, yeah. I don't know, officer. This crazy man just came in with a fucking blaster and a lightsaber, jumped on all of our stuff, somehow sucked it up into his feet, and then ran away.
This is like the discussion of like what is it like what Drake looks like to He's just this horrifying monster that can absorb bullets and just grows his flesh back.
And belches out grenades, and canonically in the game, in order of snapping people's necks, his only comment is, "That's your neck! That's your neck! That's your neck! That's your neck!"
What's happening?
It's weird. Hey. Drake is a weird guy.
God, I hate those games.
I enjoyed the first one because it was so campy and ridiculous. They got old after a while, although the second one is still pretty much a fantastic game.
Oh, see, I couldn't stand the second one.
It's
that is an
story-wise,
entire other discussion, though.
It's pretty great. I don't know. Like, the game itself is whatever, but it was pretty seminal. Like, it was...
I mean, I understand. As a person who plays a lot of games, I can't help but feel that was one of those, like everything in that game was like, wow, I've seen this done better in like a dozen other games.
Yeah. I mean,
except for the Hollywood style like cutscenes and scripting, which got really old really fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
It's your standard like AAA action game, which all of them now are like set piece based.
Well, and see,
right, but I mean,
maybe
third
why
one...
I hate the game even more than that itself, and that I hate because that became the fucking standard.
Yeah, I mean, you don't exactly have Uncharted to thank for that, but
I mean, not entirely, but yeah,
that's more the Call of Duty Battlefield problem.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're responsible too.
But I don't know. Uncharted 1 is a really cool game that tried to do new things and succeeded at them. And then Uncharted 2 is a very, very extremely well executed game with a pretty good story and, you know, that with amazing pacing. Like, the thing is, like, they didn't necessarily do anything new and different, but what they did amazingly well. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that. I don't know.
I will say this. The one thing I was legitimately very impressed about in the game was the stealth mechanics.
absolutely.
I remember hitting a point where, like, okay, these three guys are standing and, like, facing each other. There's no way I can sneak up on them. I'll just toss a grenade. And was absolutely amazed that, like, the enemies went to investigate where the grenade went off and weren't just in, like, alert, there's the bat. Oh, now we all know where the player is. Which basically any game that has stealth that isn't a specifically stealth game pretty much does that.
Yeah. Right. Well, Uncharted 1 did have that problem, but it fell away in 2.
Yeah. So I was impressed with that.
Because one was like kind of impossible to sneak up on anybody.
Yeah.
So the end of the level's right there. I'm not sure what I'm going for. I think I'm trying to find another secret.
Anyway, you were talking about the weird customs on Adamar, I believe.
Adamar. Yeah.
Adamar.
Jeez. All right.
So military leaders.
Yeah. So basically, they're like, they're kind of like the Japanese during World War II, and like extreme like adherence to a code of conduct that revolves around militaristic stuff. And also they're weird and slightly misogynistic and a whole bunch of other shit. But basically, they revere fighter pilots because that's kind of become like their new like samurai.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's their samurai.
Yeah. And so they invite representatives from both the faction remaining of the Empire and the New Republic. New Republic sends Wedge Antilles, Tycho Selchu, Wes Jansen, and Hobby Clivian, and then the Empire sends a guy named General Tur Fenrir, who it turns out, I don't know if you knew this, Zach, he is the former protege and co-pilot, or not wingman of Baron Soontir Fel.
I remember something vaguely like that. I was going to say that name sounds familiar, and I think it's related to the Fells. But...
Yep, Soontir Fel is a prominent character in the Rogue Squadron comics, because that's where his whole story comes from.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Empire's greatest ace, and during the section of story right after, like, a couple of months after Endor, and then a couple of, like, about a year or so before Coruscant gets taken, he, and before Yazain Izzard comes to power, he gets sent to help protect this Imperial world that is in danger of falling to the New Republic that Rogue Squadron is helping take. And so he and his the 181st Squadron, or Squadron? I don't remember, but they're the TIE Interceptor aces that are the best in the Empire.
Right.
And Tur Fenrir is his second in command. Basically, they go and fight Rogue Squadron, lose to Rogue Squadron because Yazain Izzard betrays Soontir Fel and all this shit. And Fel gets captured, and during his capture, it comes out that Wedge knows him because he's married to Wedge's long missing estranged sister, who happens to have become this famous holo actress and has hidden her identity. Because she's married to the greatest Imperial ace and is brother to the greatest Rebel ace. So she would probably be killed if her identity came out.
Huh. Honestly, I think I knew that at some point, but forgot that entirely, which
it's mentioned in the book a little bit. Specifically, it's mentioned in the end of Wraith Squadron, because Zinj uses Fel, a fake Fel, basically.
Right.
Spoilers. To Matt's not gonna remember this. To bring Wedge in to try and trap Wedge. And because Wedge is like, he's got to find his sister. Like, he wants to know where his sister is. Because Soontir Fel was with Rogue Squadron, did fly with Rogue Squadron, like, defected from the Empire, and then something happened. I don't know exactly what, because I haven't read all the Rogue Squadron comic books. because I don't own them all.
I know where he ends up because it's important to.
I don't know where he ends up.
He ends up with the Chiss.
That's right. That's
because
right. That's
Jagged
right.
Fell is
Right,
basically
because that's his
like
son, and Jagged Fell shows up in the fucking Yuzong Vong books.
yes,
that's
and
right.
he becomes very important because he becomes romantically involved with Jaina Solo,
Right.
and is like considered like the big Chiss hot shots.
Because he's Sunterfell's son.
Yeah, and then even later in the EU, has the hilarious twist of he becomes the like I don't remember what they call the title, but he basically becomes the leader of the like empire.
Oh, does he really?
He becomes the leader of the Imperial Remnant, yes.
I didn't read that far. Like, I stopped reading... I can't remember if I finished the Yuzong Vong series. I think I did, because I think I remember them being defeated.
Oh, the things I could tell you, because I love that's the part of the EU I'm really into, is the New Jedi Order and everything that happens after that.
It's real good. Like, that's the stuff I cut my teeth on. Like, that was coming out... That was like being published when I started reading Star Wars books. Like, so I basically burned through as much Star Wars as I could possibly get until I knew what was going on in the Yuzong Vong series, and I fucking read all of them. But I don't remember like where I left off because I eventually stopped.
Did you read the Joiner trilogy?
No, I did not read the Joiner trilogy. I think I read the first book of the Joiner trilogy and was like, I don't like this, I'm done.
It's kind of meh, but it's only really important because it sets up the villain of the next major series.
Gotcha.
Which is both amazing and sad, I will say.
I need to read them because I do want to find out what happens to all these characters.
I won't talk about it too much then.
Oh yeah, this part is...
shit.
This part of the game is going to be crazy.
Oh
shit.
Is that a
That's
walker?
a fucking ATST. Yeah, that's an ATST.
Yeah, this is... I'm actually storming an Imperial fortress here.
Wait, since when? What happened?
That's what they said about. That's what they said about Baron's Head.
This guy's
the Empire.
Right,
the
Baron's
Empire
Head
state
became a
fortified.
Right.
It.
For some reason, I thought it was just like under attack.
No,
Okay.
They said they're guarding it like it's a fortress. And
I'm sorry, I was nerding out about Rogue Squadron.
That's fair. Entirely.
I nerded so hard I couldn't see.
It's
Shit, what were we talking about? Anyway, so fucking Starfighters of Adumar. That's the fucking thing I've been trying to talk about this entire LP episode so far. It's good. It's really good, but it's really weird because it basically doesn't focus on any of the primary conflict that all of the Rogue Squadron books focused on because Yzain Izzard is dead. So it's like this like interesting epilogue that basically closes out the story of Wedge and Tilly's, specifically in this in this like path of Rogue Squadron novels. That was terribly said. Basically finishes this part of Wedge's story, and he kind of no longer becomes a main character for really the rest of the EU. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the last point he's a main character.
Yeah, he has his moments in later books, but he's almost always a side character at best.
Yeah, a secondary character. But also, wow, force speed, wow, gotta go fast.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Force speed of wow.
Wow, wow. But yeah, so
speed,
it's just this.
Wow.
It's this like almost charming little book, like, and I say that like knowing how odd it sounds because it's like an action adventure, like Star Wars thriller novel, but like it's really charming. Because it's basically just like these four best friends who've seen literal hell with each other and gone through, horrific times and war, and it's them like getting a final resolution to some of their character arc and like getting time with each other and basically getting to lead a fucking revolution and But anyway, the whole point of it is like Wes Jansen is the best character ever and has some amazing lines and does awesome things in this book, and he's hilarious and he's the best. I'm done. I'm done now.
Awesome.
Jub Commander.
Yub.
Yub. I don't remember which one it is. Yub, I think.
It's Yub. It's Yub. Get it right, Zach. God.
It's been a long time. I read those when I was still in high school. I think high school or early college. I think it's still high school.
Yeah, see, I've got a leg up on you in that I reread Wraith Squadron about 3 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, I reread the whole series, and then I still have Wraith Squadron, the book, somewhere in my house. I don't know where the other two are.
Oh, yeah.
I've read it a couple of times since then, but I've not reread the entire series. Anyway, it's very good. It's just very good. It's brilliantly well paced. It introduces a whole new set of characters that all have excellent character arcs and are beautifully developed, and I really enjoy them. It's like hilarious and sad and dramatic and exciting. I don't know. It's pretty much everything you want in a Star Wars series. Also, are we about to trap this ATST and
No,
kick
we're
its
gonna.
ass?
We actually have to. So the thing that I didn't realize when I realize when I did this is I'm trying to get up into a specific part in the ceiling, and the way that you do this is by opening both gates.
Okay.
But the thing is, the first time I did this, I did it perfectly, so I didn't realize. I thought this switch just always controlled the rear gate.
Gotcha.
So by doing this, I had to let the ATST advance a lot, which leads to, which is going to lead to Kyle Katarn having some fucking badass moments here.
Nice.
Of just fucking deflecting ATST fire with a fucking lightsaber.
So is it just auto deflecting?
Yeah.
That's
you don't
hilarious.
You don't have to do anything. It just does that by nature of being a lightsaber.
That's hilarious, but that's not. Lightsabers don't just do that. Like a Jedi does that.
Yeah, well, I guess it's his force prediction, whatever's.
It takes a lot of training and effort.
The Force is just
the force
that
is
strong.
strong with Katarn. Don't you remember Darth Vader at the end of the first game?
Yeah, it's fucking goddamn Mary Sue bullshit.
I love the sound the officers make.
Spoilers, I guess. Kyle Katarn actually shows up in the later EU as well. Of the books.
He super does.
Yeah, he gets super tied up and shit.
Yeah, he's he becomes a pretty entertaining and interesting character. He's kind of typecast as like the military-minded Jedi. Like he's the one who sees the Jedi most like a fighting force more than others.
Yeah, I mean because like this, because this.
Well, and also he was like formerly an imperial officer too.
Yeah,
before he defected.
Yeah, like he's just a military guy.
Right.
But yeah, because I forget, is he in the Jedi Academy book series?
No, the first time I recall him showing up is he's mentioned off and on during the New Jedi Order. And he plays a major role in not the Joiner trilogy, but the series following after that. He plays a major role in one or two of the books of that series.
Because he also is a main character in the Dark Empire or Dark Emperor series, whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, is he in Dark? I haven't read Dark Empire. So.
What? Dark Empire.
The Dark Empire comics. I didn't realize he shows up in those.
Yeah, he does. At least I think he does.
Would he? Because
look. I'm looking.
I'd say those were made before this game because they were some of the first Star Wars EU stuff. I thought.
December 1991, October 1992.
Also, can I point out this fucking map?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, unless he shows up as just his post-Dark Forces.
Maybe I just misremembered that. Let me just Google Kyle Katarn and figure out what all he's got going on.
Alright, I forgot this also has, like, the soft wipes from the movies, because, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Also, the Wikipedia picture for Kyle Katarn is definitely one of the shitty CGI graphics from this game, and it's amazing.
Awesome.
Like, it's so dumb looking.
They didn't use the one from Dark Forces 1, or the ones from fucking Jedi Academy.
Nope, it's definitely one from this game, because it looks like trash. Where
Can I just say that the Kyle Katarn in the CG here, like just his facial features remind me vaguely of Kevin.
Oh yeah, no, he looks a lot like, well, because he looks like fucking Riker.
Yeah.
So now we come to our first lightsaber duel.
Woo!
In all my years, I've only known dark Jedi, never one from the light side. Somehow I expected more.
I like this guy.
Yun, a young and willing dark Jedi, the newest addition to the cause. Brash and eager, he is ready to prove himself to his master at any cost. These elements make him a dangerous and unpredictable foe.
Also, I can move around the cutscene. So one of the things they say is that he is a newly formed Dark Jedi, and this is pointed out by all of his Force powers are actually light side abilities.
Huh.
Namely, he has Force Jump, Force Persuade, and Force Blind, which are Force Jump is a neutral ability, and the other two are both specifically light side. So the thing about Force Persuade is because there's no diplomacy in this game or anything, it just turns you invisible. And when he uses Force Persuade, I cannot actually block any of his hits. Although one of the things I'll say is that being able to blocking lightsaber hits in this game is a fucking like crapshoot. I have beaten the game. I still don't understand how it works. And there we go. He was a fucking pushover.
Nice. So, what I was remembering is the Empire Reborn, not Dark Empire. The Empire Reborn is a plot point later on in this series, and we'll find out about it.
Okay.
It's this. This is the picture. It was that right there.
I like that the close-up makes it look like Kyle's wearing a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
He had to go. His
What?
planet needed him.
I want to think that the direction for that was quick, something's shooting at you.
All right, good
Swing your
enough.
sword around.
Break for lunch.
All right.
All right.
So we'll catch it up next time. There'll be more
Good night,
lightsaber
Internet.
fights.
Woo.
Good night.